thank you for the introduction. And so it's late in the afternoon. People might be getting tired or sleepy. So let's do a little bit of exercise. All right, exercise. Yep. And also I want to get to know you guys. All right. So if your company make AR, VR hardware side, please stand up. Stand up. Let's have a head count. Let's see how many people. 10%. Thank you. You can sit down now. You can sit down. If your company makes sensors, please stand up. Any kind of sensor, touch sensor, gesture control sensor, voice control sensor, less. All right. If you're a software-only company, only make software, created all these apps, please stand up. All right, software, a lot of software. Good. Thank you so much. So if you're from universities or research institute, please stand up. University research students. Yep, we still also have a good representation. Okay, if you haven't stand up yet, please stand up. All right, yeah. Get a chance to exercise you a little bit. All right, so here is the outline of my talk today. First one, we'll talk about the hot trends, what hot this year, next year. Then we move on, talk about the AR, VR, and also a little bit about the artificial intelligence in my talk. Now we'll talk about the sensor. Why do people want to know about sensor? Then we dive into the sensor technology, talk about each of those sensor technologies, include the gesture control, eye tracking, and voice control, and other touchless and touch sensor technologies. At the end, I'll give a market forecast until 2022, and also give a summary and business strategy recommendations. All right. So hot trend, what's hot this year, next year? A lot of this hot trend actually was extended from last year or 2 years ago. So those hot trends will continue to grow. For example, like the smart home. Smart home is very hot because Google acquired Nest Lab for $3.2 billion in 2014. So that inspired a lot of companies to jump into the smart home. Right now, we not only see the smart thermostat, we also see smart doorbells, smart lock, smart light, a lot of smart home stuff. Those are hot. And also in the TV in our living rooms, you start to see a lot of TV going to high resolution, right? 4K, 8K, 10K, 11K, right? All the high resolutions. And also quantum dot. Quantum dot is one technology to improve your TV's color accuracy and also color gamut. So this is a picture I took at CES just a couple months ago, the Samsung's quantum dot TV. Then there's also near eye devices. Near eye, we'll talk about a lot more about the near eye in the next few slides. And also flexible display, flexible curved display, and the touch screens. Also the touch screens material getting more and more transparent conducting materials. Then there are also touchless control. We'll dive into more about the gesture control, voice control later. And large companies like Google, Apple start to jump into the automotive industry now. They try to get a piece of the pie in the automotive side. There's also active pen. A lot of people ignore the pen, but active pen is very natural user interface. And Apple released the Apple Pencil just several months ago. And Microsoft acquired Entric last year, so they integrated more pen into their Surface and Surface Books. And also wearable, not only we wear on our wrist, on our eye, and also we wear on our baby, right? To give the baby a smart sock, so the baby to monitor the baby's temperature or the heart rate. So in the evening when the parents are sleeping, if the baby has some problem, the alarm will sound to wake up the parents to take care of the baby. So that actually saved a lot of life. And also pet tracker, we track where's our dogs, so we wear wearable devices on our dogs now. And authentication, you see the fingerprint, and also use your voice as your password or your iris to make sure to take picture of your eyes to see that's the person you say you are. And also, of course, AR, VR, we'll talk more about those. All right, so we cover actually all of these hot trends in our monthly report, Touch and Emerging Display monthly report. Because we're a market research company, we write reports, right? To thank the audience to stay so late for my talk, so we offer 1 month of this report for free. So if you're interested, just come to me, give me your name card, say, hey, we're interested in your monthly report, and I'll send you 1 month for free. Okay, deal? All right. So now let's dive into the augmented reality and virtual realities. So when we talk about AR, VR devices, there are actually a variety of different type of devices we're talking about here. A lot of companies will mention about the HTC Vive, the Oculus Rift, the upcoming the Sony's the PlayStation VR. But a lot of actually is just a mobile phone or tablet PC. Those are AR, VR devices as well. For example, this is the Octagon. Actually, I took a picture last year in this event, exactly in this event last year. For example, they can just have this back-faced camera to look into some cards, like, for example, a monkey. Then after it faces the monkey, it will detect it, and you will see a live monkey jumping around in these devices. Then if you put another card, like a banana, beside it, then you could see the monkey jumping to the banana. So that's one of the education applications for these AR, VR applications. Then also you can see this actually in digital signage in the retail environment. This is a picture I took from Toshiba's demo in CES. So people actually looking into the digital signage camera to try on different type of clothes, right? Different clothes, you like this clothes, that clothes, different to try on. So that's a digital signage have AR experience. Then for the VR, we mentioned about all this head-mounted display, or people call near-eye devices. So those are devices for these applications. Mentioning about the artificial intelligence devices, this devices actually is quite interesting as well. One famous one might be the Amazon's Echo. So this one you can ask questions or search online or ask to play music. This one is a Vive CEO give a demonstration at the TechCrunch's conference. Now our mobile phones, voice control getting more smarter. Not only just ask, hey, what's the weather in Santa Clara today? But you can ask it like, what's the weather in Seattle 3 Thursdays ago? Then the mobile phone had to calculate 3 Thursday, which day is that, to find out the weather on that day. So it gets much smarter these days. And these are the smart lock, smart doorbell, and also I count into the self-driving car as artificial intelligent devices as well. Now let's look into the market driver for the sensor. So sensor is actually very critical components for the AR, VR, or AI devices, because the machine rely on the sensor to know the environment, to know the user, what the user want, what the user say, what the user looking at. So definitely the sensor is a very important component. And there are over 20 sensor technologies. Over 20, if you want to pack all the technology, you can pack 20 sensor technologies in one device. So we put those technologies into 10 categories. There are camera-based gesture, and camera-based eye tracking, and voice control, proximity touch, and motion sensor fusion, and the touch and other touch lists. We'll mention some of this in the next couple slides. Now let's look into the sensor technologies, dive into this part. About the companies working on the sensor technologies, we started tracking this market since 3 years ago. It had been 3 years. You can see that back in 2014, there are about 200 companies we track. Now, currently, there are over 250 companies we track now. Some company might, they're just startup company, just started, so we add them on. And some companies are large companies. They used to not be in this field, but then they acquired another company, or they start to form a division within this large company, start to jump into this field. Then we start to track them out as well. You can see this among all these companies, actually camera-based gesture is the most popular. There are 67 companies working on that. Voice control is also very popular, 32 company, and the motion sensor fusion has over 50 companies working on that. Now this is the camera-based gesture control. We mentioned this is the most popular technologies because the computer, the camera sensor is getting cheaper and cheaper. People start to get able to access these technologies, get into it. The most famous camera-based gesture control devices might be the Microsoft Kinect. Microsoft Kinect, they released this in November 2010, and immediately become the most popular devices. They sold about 8 million within the first 2 months, and that was in the Guinness record back then, right? Then also about the technology Microsoft was using it is from PrimeSense, an Israel-based company. But later, Microsoft updated the Kinect. They said, oh, they developed their own gesture control technology. They don't use PrimeSense technology anymore. And then in end of 2013, Apple acquired PrimeSense. So now we know what Apple's doing, right, with PrimeSense gesture control, of course. There are over 60 companies working on the camera-based gesture control. This is one example from Astir Lab. They not only just a typical game anymore, they integrate the camera inside the wearable devices, so you can integrate with your finger to control the applications. Now let's look into the eye tracking. Eye tracking is also called eye gaze or eye control by some different companies, called different names. So eye tracking, basically, they use cameras to track your eyeballs, where your eyeballs is looking at, and then they perform according to where you're looking at it. This one is one picture I took from last year from Fove. They use eye tracking for their eyewear devices. Then also this SMI based in Germany also have this eye tracking software and hardware integrated with this Samsung's Gear VR devices. This actually in the developer version DK2. So there are over 10 companies working on eye tracking, right? Now let's look into more voice control. So voice control, also called voice recognition or voice command. So the benefit of voice control is, it's give you a lot of safety for certain application. For example, when we're driving in the car, we want to use a voice to control the music selection or return message or something. Then we can keep our eyes on the road. So that's for the safety, and also faster. So for example, this in the Google TV's voice search, when you ask your remote control to search for a certain movie or by certain actor, actress, or director's name, it's faster than you just type with your remote control. What's the name? Push a button, hit here the letter. It takes a long time, right? So if you can just talk, it's much faster. Then also voice control doesn't take a lot of space. That's why a lot of wearable, when you wear your watch or in your eyewear head-mounted display, so those they prefer to use voice control because it doesn't take a lot of space like the touch, right? Touch typically takes some space, but there are companies still using touch, and we'll show it later. But voice control has the biggest problem is accuracy. A lot of time it doesn't understand what user is saying. It performs the wrong thing, or a lot of time when we have accent, it doesn't understand. I asked some voice control companies, I said, how can you make it understand accent? They said, oh, that will double or triple the data that's had to process, because you not only process the perfect accent, but also you had to add more vocabulary with this accent and that accent, and so your basically your database had to be huge when you try to understand all the accent. So now there are over 30 companies working on the voice control devices. Besides the camera-based gesture, camera-based eye tracking, and voice control, there are also a lot of other type of touchless control, other type. For example, the motion sensor. This is kind of with accelerometer or gyro into it, and also some touch. For example, this is from Microchip. It's just a projected capacitive type of touch, but they could also fine-tune it to sense 15 centimeter above. So this is a proximity type of touch. And also, we can sense with our muscle electric. This is from Somic Lab. They have the Myo wearable devices. There are also brainwave sensor. Brainwave, you can see in the exhibition, there are some common demonstrators. You do use brainwave to sense what the user really thinking about or about this the devices. All right. Let's look into this touch. We mentioned several about the touchless. Now there's the touch sensor. Touch sensor, actually, this market has been growing very, very well since 2006. I was very fortunately to be probably one of the first industry analysts to write reports on the touch industry since 2007. So this industry growing so well that even in the 2008 to 2010, the global economic downturn, almost every other industry have experienced this slowdown, but now the touch industry was going crazy. So there are many touch technologies out there. There are over like 14 different type of touch technology I track. But among those, most popular ones currently we're talking about is PCAP or project capacity. We call it PCAP type of touch technology. Then there's also touchpad. When you're looking into your smartphone or tablet, almost 100% are using PCAP type of touch. But however, when you have a wearable, you can't add a PCAP right on your eyewear. It's hard to see where am I touching, right? So now people use touchpad. For example, this is from Vuzix. This is from Samsung Gear VR. So this part is touchpad. This part is touchpad. So you use a touchpad to try to control it. Use your finger to touch here, move up, to try to have some input into the device, right? So now we talk about all this different type of touch sensor and the touchless sensor technology. Let's look into the market forecast. All right. So in this AR, VR, and AI market, we forecast that there will be over 10 billion sensors will be adopted for this market by 2017. And that 10 billion sensors, they're worth about $97 billion in 2017. And this market will continue to grow pretty fast and reach about 160 billion by 2022. So that's our market forecast. Of course, in our report, we have detailed breakdown by each of these AR market, VR market, and AR market, and also breakdown by each of the touch sensor technology we just mentioned. All right, let's give a summary. And in the last 20 minutes or so, we first talk about the hot trends this year, next year. We talk about smart home, high-resolution TVs, and different type of transparent conductor, near-eye devices, wearable devices. Then we jump into talk about augmented reality, virtual reality, and artificial intelligence market. And we mentioned those devices include so many variety type of devices, right? Not only wearable, near-eye goggle, but also mobile phone, tablet, PC, digital signage, even the automotive head-up displays. Those are sometimes called augmented reality. Then we jump into the sensor. Sensor is so important for the AR, VR devices. We talk about each of the sensor technologies. Then for the sensor market, we forecast this market will adopt over 10 billion in 2017, and this market will reach over $160 billion by 2022. So we definitely recommend, the OEM, ODMs to adopt more and more sensors for the benefit of easy to use, very intuitive, so they deliver the fast response and also can probably save power and for safety and intelligence for the devices. And for the sensor manufacturers, we recommend you could combine several sensors or integrate several sensors into it for low cost and also small footprint. That's a direction our VR, AR devices demand. We want to be very lightweight, very light, and a very small size, put on our nose or on our wrist. So that's definitely needed. And also, we do see certain sensors, you could avoid it if you can perform same function by other sensors just by adding some software function to it. All right, that's several of these business strategy recommendations. Again, we are a market research company. We do offer standard report or consulting project. All right, thank you for your attention. All right.